Hey guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. You guys asked me recently when you saw something on the Spellbinders website if I was going to be getting it. So, you know what? I went ahead and bought it because I wanted to show it to y'all. I got to try it out at Creativation, but we're going to take a look at the new My Turn for the Platinum 6 that makes your die cutting even easier. There's actually two different brand new products. One of them is the My Turn Comfort Grip that you can put on your existing, and this is only like a couple of bucks, but you can put this on your existing handle, and that's going to make it easier for turning because of that nice cushiony grip. And then we've got this piece that looks kind of weird. It's called the My Turn for Platinum 6. Shows on the back how to install it. And what it does, I'll show you in the picture, it basically makes that the crank arm is longer, which means that it has more torque, which means that it's easier to crank everything through. If you're struggling because you're having trouble getting the pressure that you need, this is actually really good for that. But even if it's not a chore for you at this point, this still is going to make it easier on your body. Only issue is the way my setup is, this would require it to hang off the edge of my desk in order for me to do it. So just know that wherever you have it positioned, it is going to have to hang with the handle over because the handle is longer than your die cutting machine is tall. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the packaging and show you how to install them on my Platinum 6. They even give you the tools that you're going to need to assemble this, and it doesn't really require much assembly. What you do need to do, though, is on the side of your machine, right here, you're going to have to take out that little piece, and it pops right off. It's just a little plastic plug, and then we've got an Allen wrench. That's what that thing's called. We have an Allen wrench that is the right size for that specific screw that's going in there. So let me go ahead and get that out. So it comes with good instructions. First, it says to remove the turning handle arm, turn the screw counterclockwise to loosen it and pull that one off. So that's what we're going to do. So that means that this part goes that direction. And again, to help with the torque, you can always use both pieces. So the Allen wrench turns counterclockwise, while the handle would turn clockwise, if that makes sense. I'm hoping that I'm making some sense to make it easier for you guys to do that. It also says to make sure that you're doing this on a clean, dry surface. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. There we go. So you probably remember this from when you got your machine because it came without mine came without the handle on it. So I've got my old screw, and I've got my old washer, and I've got my old handle. I'm going to put those off to the side. And then this is going to go in place right where it was before. Now, here's the thing. For storage, well, actually, we've got it. It's not really stable, right? We've got this little lever here. So you're able to pop it like that, and that's going to make it so that your arm is going to hang down all the way. So that's what I was talking about. It's longer than your machine. Okay, we've also got our circle here has got a little flat part, so we need to make sure that that is matching up. I'm going to turn this around so it slides right on. And then we're going to put on our new washer and new screw. And then we can start screwing our little screw on. And to tighten it, we do turn it clockwise this time. There we go. So it's nice and tight. They also gave us an extra screw, which I always think is nice when you get an extra. And we've also got another little plastic stopper to go over the end. I'm going to put the one that came with my machine back on there, so it's going to cover up that hole. And you can see it won't go all the way down. Now, if you want to use it just like a normal, you can't. You have to do it this way. You're going to have to do it this way once you have it on there. Okay. It does fold up, and that's fine. So this is great for storage. So it's folded up right here. So this is how you're going to have it when you have it in wherever you have your storage area. But if you're wanting to use it, you flip it out. You take this little guy, and it slides right behind that extra piece of metal. And then if you want to use it, you do have to have it on the edge of your desk in order for that to work. Let me see if I can get my camera reset up so that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay, tech is tech. When I reset up the camera, it turned off the mic. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to die cut out a piece showing you how the machine works. This one is a die from the new large die of the month. This is a piece of coral, just cutting out a piece of scrap. Besides, I need this for a project I'm working on. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put everything together. The same sandwich we always use. We've got our platform base. We've got our topper because this is the universal plate system. I've got my magic mat, my clear plate, and then we've got the die and the paper cardstock underneath. And this just cranks super, super easy. Super easy. So next I'm going to put that foam piece, the My Turn foam piece, on my existing handle. And what I'm noticing on the one that I received, it's really, really tight. So I did struggle a little bit before I went back and watched Denzel's video on the product page on the Spellbinders website. So you'll want to do that. You can see I'm having some issues trying to get that on. I do get it on eventually. So let me show you what else I tried. So first off, since I was having issues trying to get it on there with it in my hand, meaning not attached to the machine, I decided to go ahead and install this one back onto my Platinum 6. I do have a second machine because I'd overused the handle at the top to pick it up, because you guys know I store this under my desk and I do a lot of die cutting. So I have a second machine. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have one with just the regular handle and the soft grip, and then the other one have that extended handle. So I'm taking my new extended handle off and I'm going to put my old handle back on so that I can put the foam grip on. Okay, one thing that Denzel said to do is try using dish soap. Well, the closest soap-ish that I had, liquid soap, was actually this body wash that was in my bathroom. So I went ahead and grabbed that out. So I'm trying that on here. And yeah, it helped some, but not quite as much as I'd like. So I wasn't able to get that foam grip all the way on using this type of soap. Yeah, y'all know I have to try all the things. So I did go ahead and grab out the dish soap out of my kitchen. This is some Dawn dish soap, so I am just putting some of that on the handle. And as soon as I start rubbing this on, I notice there is much improved viscosity. This is much slipperier than the body wash that I just tried. So let's go ahead and see how this one does. Wiping it off of my hands, because yeah, my hands are all yunky. And then I'm going to just slide this thing on. And look at that. It went on super fast and easy. So do what Denzel says. He has tested it. He is the smart one. And he said to use dish soap. I tried it with Dawn and it worked fabulously. So now I have that handle is ready to be used on my current die cutting machine. And this is the one that's going to be living under my desk. I'll be putting the extended handle onto my other die cutting machine so I can do some off-camera die cutting for a little bit more speed and such in between videos. But anyway, that's it for you guys for today. I hope that this is helpful. If you decide to get one of these, I would love to know what you think about it. By the way, links to everything are down in the description as always. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.